Good evening. Trusting that you had a wonderful day, Wednesday in the Lord, as did I. And we are in 2 Kings 22nd chapter. And this is an encouragement. Remember, the last king started at 12 years old, Manasseh, and he did not do what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, as did some of his great-grandfathers. It was pretty checkered. Some good, some bad, some pleased the Lord, walked in his ways. One tore down the high places. And then a few of them set their sons in the fire, just all over the place. Well, we are here, and we're talking about 8-year-old Josiah. Yes. And how many of us know a young man named Josiah? This is why a lot of people name their sons. Because it says that he did what was right in the sight of the Lord and walked in the ways of his father. Well, and we know that's great-great-great-great-grandfather David. And he turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah. So I like when they give credit to a lifestyle of pleasing the Lord when they mention the mother's name, because we know that the moms do a lot of work, as do the fathers. But we are happy that Josiah reigned for 31 years. So he was able to retire or to stop being king right before the age of 40. So he had a fruitful life and career. Something that happened with him, he sent out scribes and the high priest to do some repairs in the house, and they found the book of the law, Moses' book, and they started reading, and this is in verse 8, and they saw that what was happening didn't line up with God's will. And they sent for the priest. Let's see. Actually, she was a prophet. And her name was Huldah. 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 And that's in verse 14. And Huldah was the keeper of the royal wardrobe. So she was in charge of clothing, right? Keeping the closet and the fashions. And she also was connected to the Lord's will. Isn't that wonderful? So you can have a great career, right? Something maybe in the fashion industry, the arts, creativity, and still be godly. Don't let people think that just because you're, exposed to high fashion, that you have to, go way out. No, you still can express what are your gifts inside you and still honor God. Amen. So anyway, it said in verse 18 and 19, Huldah was giving a message that the Lord was giving to the kingdom. He said, "Tell Judah's king who sent you to me to ask the Lord a question. This is what the Lord God of Israel says about the words you heard. You had a change of heart. It's because Josiah humbled himself in front of the Lord, and the Lord would not execute judgment on the land. So he said that I have listened to you. I saw your distress, how you tore your clothes. You were sorrowful for how your ancestors lived. And the Lord gave confirmation in verse 20. I'm going to bring you to your grave in peace." Ooh, don't you want that? To be brought to the end, rest in peace. There's no type of heaviness and destruction when your last days come. That's what we want. But in the meantime, while there's life, amen, in chapter 9 of Proverbs, because today is October 9th, what is the formula as far as having a long, rich life? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? And then it says in verse 11, for by me thy days shall be multiplied and thy years of life shall be increased. That's the math that we want because we please the Lord. So we can be brought to our grave in peace. We can have a fruitful, creative career. We can enjoy the work of our hands, and we can please the Lord. And I think that's all of our prayers. Yeah. So he'll get the glory. Have a good evening resting from your labors. And I hope you be mindful of God, who is our creator, and he gives us all gifts. Good night.